All right, guys, let's try this again. I bonked that one. I closed the page and then I couldn't get it to restart. It kept throwing script error, whatever, just whatever. That wasn't important anyway. And something else has come up that I thought would be more relevant to share with everybody because it is something that most everybody knows about. The uh, the Bundy standoff. I'll do a quick recap of that here in a minute, but I just wanted to finish up on that other deal that I was telling you guys. The Igor Crayon channel is it's like a new breed, a new batch of hoax that they are using computer images with actual objects in a shadow box where the screen image of space or whatever is and the animation is happening on the back of the box, and then the robots working in the sand are happening in the floor of the box. It's you've got somebody that's actually spending money to deceive, and of course the message here is that some massive disclosure is coming soon, and blah blah blah. And this is the only channel where you can get the information. Ex CIA that spends all day going to the hardware store shopping for things to hoax UFO wreckage with, uh, a metal duct and stuff like that, and smoke bombs. And what was alarming about this is that the viewership, people, this is a brand new channel getting 200,000 views in 4 days on a video. And 50% of these people, it looks like, aren't thumbs downing it and calling it a hoax. So there you go, 100,000 people fooled by Igor Crayon. I give him A for effort. I really do. But I don't appreciate the part about they're serious about it, and they're not kidding. That they're actually trying to pass this off as exclusive CIA leak footage, whatever. Let's move on. Lisa Bundy hit the camera today. Now she had been filmed before, but rarely and briefly, just blah blah blah, whatever. But this whole thing's been out of sight, out of mind for quite a while, or whatever. And then Lisa goes and hits the camera today. And I want to tell you, people, Lisa Bundy, right off the kick, she makes one of the biggest mistakes that you should never do, especially if you are related to any of this conspiracy or government or any of this UFO, any of this kind of stuff. You should never, ever jump up in front of the camera with your small child and introduce your child to everyone out there. Lisa Bundy. I don't know what the hell you're thinking. That one of your friends didn't tell you that you should keep everyone away from the camera, especially your innocent children. Now she makes several interesting statements. I thought it was so interesting that of course I had to bring it to you with a full Logan analysis. Well, probably not full because I don't want to give it too much thought. Let's go back over the gist of the Bundy standoff period. We are talking about what they're described as is ranchers. These are people that keep or work cattle, more kind of a 50-50 tax write-off and business or whatever. But these people have lived in the same place as their families before, there are Mormon families before them, and blah blah blah, and that all these people have always had a let's say a gentleman's agreement with the United States of America, who owns. We don't want to get into all that. That's another 15-hour show. The land that these ranchers have been grazing their stock on for years, no question about it. I don't think either side um, argues about that or whatever. That come up one day, and all of a sudden, the government says that they want a big cut of the profit, so to speak, off of the animals grazing on their land. In other words, they want to charge them for it. Well, of course, the ranchers previous to that or whatever, they weren't paying anything. So the other ranchers are like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, sure, man, yeah, bill me, whatever. Well, they did bill them, and it didn't take long when the ranchers tried to move their stock onto this land that they were met and stopped or whatever. To go into some detail of that is that it was really quite ugly. Is that there were a lot of men, a lot of guns, and no one acting like an adult, just men with guns. And we caught them all, actually, with a hidden video of what they really think about human life other than their own. Of course, we are talking about the BLM, blah, blah, blah. Also, the BLM corralled and captured. I'm sure someone out there has a count of exactly how many, but many, over 50 head of cattle were shot with rifles and instantly buried in pre-made cow fill areas on the BLM land. Yeah, that they just murdered the cows and then tried to bury them real quick, covered up. Of course, somebody ran out there and got some videotape of that, didn't they? Whatever. We've got Mrs. Bundy has been living it. This is another thing I want to. This is the reason why this is kind of important. This is someone who is not a YouTuber, or probably a conspiracy theorist, or any of that other stuff. Just the wife of someone who was involved. Probably didn't have any hand in anything, any decision making, or any of that. Just along for the ride. So when she gets in front of the camera, it's a pretty good perspective because we don't have a well-groomed, well-greased, freaking lying piece of trash for some purpose, a personal gain or whatever. So, oh, what a breath of fresh air on that. We're going to get to that here in just a second. I want to tell you guys that I just saw Grindle61 posted a video about legislation coming down in New York City that a new powerful law could be sweeping the internet. Yes. Well, I'm not gonna give you any of the details. I'm just going to tell you that anyone can take down anybody's anything. No more protected private personal website to do what you please with. Yeah, that could become a thing of the past. Now, of course, this is being considered censorship to the max. I've seen these stories come and go, and I was kind of actually surprised to see Grindle post it. He's a very one of the greatest uploaders on the YouTube as far as people's rights and what's really going on. I mean, he is one of the top dogs. And I'll tell you what, when somebody out there does something worthwhile, I like to point it out because there's not enough of that to go around. I saw a video earlier that I really appreciated. It was from a fellow YouTuber that did an analysis of Logan running on the internet or whatever. Now, of course, this is somebody that knew me really well or whatever, but this is somebody, this is what I thought was nice, that somebody took the time out to say, yeah, I've been watching Logan for a long time, and if you want to look at the big picture on this, this, he's, well, I don't know. I'm going to make this one about me. It's about Lisa, a different Lisa. Actually, it's about this. It's not even about this Bundy mess. It's way bigger than that. Okay, I'm going to play it here in a minute. Probably some of you said, "Oh yeah, I played that. I heard that earlier. There ain't nothing there." Oh really? Oh really? Yeah, just wait and see. Just wait and see. Since that other broadcast didn't go too well, and this seems to be doing all right. I think I know what the problem is here. Every time I know you keep hearing me say, I think I know what the problem is. Well, but since that other video didn't work too well or whatever, I did want to point out the fact that Donald Trump went across the pond today to meet with Angela Merkel. I don't know how he did it and kept diplomatic and kept a straight face and was cordial and polite with the Merkel over there. I couldn't have done it. I could not have done it. I would have spent the first 15 minutes going over her history record and then asking for an explanation and asking her exactly when do you expect Europe to actually burst into flames. I mean, just across the countryside. For the amount of propellant that Angela Merkel has been driving up and down the streets of Europe, pouring out this propellant, and that when will the match go down, Angela? This is probably why Logan Running isn't in politics or a politician or any of that or whatever. It just it wouldn't go very far, because after that they probably wouldn't ask me back. Just like on the YouTube. Miss Lisa says a couple of things in here that are beyond the Bundy situation or your personal situation or my personal situation. She touches on something that I thought was beyond important. It's actually a look into what's really the reality of the thing, and oh, how ugly it is. Of course, she has I wouldn't say she's lived a protected life or anything like that, but she seems to be surprised of people's ugliness, and that's too bad. let's go ahead and start the tape here. I'm not going to claim that I have again. I always make sure to claim that, of course, I do not have this person in my house anymore. She left a while ago. I think they live up there close to the Dakotas or something, or probably Utah. I can't remember. You know, if you ask me right now where that Bundy Ranch thing happened, I couldn't tell you, but I remember everything about it. The the uh, the details, the captures, the blah 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 blah, and then you know, we got to remember that Mister Ammon Bundy here, it's and the one in question, of course, was not picked up over there at his house for this situation over at the ranch standoff deal. That actually was picked up in Oregon at a outside of a bird sanctuary. And of course, you guys probably got to be well versed in that. In this story, there were no heads of cattle. There was one head of Finicum. Yes, that's one head of Finicum in this story, where there was over 50 head of cattle back at the Bundy Ranch. Now, people can't understand how could this happen? How could either one of these things happen the way they did? You really want to know why? You really want to know why the pipeline standoff didn't work either? Anybody want to take a guess out there why Bundy Ranch standoff didn't matter? Anybody want to take a guess out there why the wildlife refuge standoff doesn't matter? Anybody at all? Anybody at all want to tell me why the pipeline protest lost? Basically, I remember reporting that they won. I remember it well. I remember posting the video, and oh, how happy we all were that the Indians were going to get to keep what's left of their semi-clean water. And somebody told me that something stunk to that effect, or something didn't smell right, and I was like, "Oh, you're just, your cup is half empty." God damn it, they won. No, they didn't win. They didn't win, and none of these people won. They far from won. So Lisa's a pretty good talker. And I have to remind you, people, I did use the M word, the Mormon thing. So there could be mention in a religious order or whatever. Don't be offended, please. I'm not. And nobody gets offended easier than Logan. What'd you say? All right, here we go. Also, again, I cannot stress this to you enough. Never, ever, ever, any of you be so foolish as to pick the kid up and there's such a do. Just asking for every kind of trouble you can think of. And let's try to remember that when we use kids in this way subconsciously, Lisa, they weren't asked. And they don't know the situation. They haven't been informed. So let's not make choices for anybody, especially your poor, innocent little kids. Now, these, for out in the open, for the most part, I mean, all the way around, unless some of you guys can point something out that I missed, that these Bundy people haven't done anything wrong. Let's remember that question of field burning or whatnot. That was Oregon. No, let's remember that the Bundy thing was like took the cows down to the pasture and only two came back. Seen a lot of helicopters down there. Let's go down there and take a look. Hey Mo, look this over here. There's a big old pit. Pit full of your cows. Just a little bit of dirt over the top. This cow's still alive. Inhuman? Let's go to the tape. Thanks for showing up, Lisa. I know you're very busy. And let me just start by saying I am sorry. I'm sorry. Take it away.
How's everybody doing? I had a few things I wanted to touch base with today about our guys, about Ammon and about Ryan Bundy and Ryan Payne. Yesterday, I hadn't seen him or talked to him. Haven't seen him in over a year. I didn't talk to Ammon yesterday, and I hadn't talked to him for almost 2 days, and that's very rare for him. So I wanted to make sure he was okay. So I called his lawyer and asked him if he had heard from him, and he said that he had gone to the jail and he had refused his visit. I know that he probably wouldn't have refused his visit unless, one, there was a special reason.
Hang on, guys. I'm sorry. I forgot to do this. Okay, she's up to, she asked the lawyer about her husband, and the lawyer said he went down there and Ammon wouldn't see him, is the story he got, or the story she got. We're going to get right back to that here in a second. I can't see the show live, and I'm sure some of you out there would like to be able to talk to me, or at least for to be heard in your comments. Email them to me. Everyone. It's quick, it's easy, and it's fun. So send your comment to Logan Running Again. That's Logan Running Again. All one word, and there is no G in Logan Running. No spaces. Logan Running Again at gmail.com. Easy enough. Send me any and everything you want, including colorfuls. You hate Logan? Send him an email. He loves that. But mainly, I know that I'm missing out on so much. And somebody out there told me that there's a way to pull up the comments after the show and see them. And I'm still waiting on that tutorial because, you know, I am almost completely live stream illiterate because of the restrictions of bandwidth. I do believe it is. And let's get back to Lisa before it freaking drops out again. Here we go. Trouble for already off the get-go. Here we go.
Or two, they lied. So he's in solitary. Ammon's in solitary. Ryan Payne's in solitary, and so is Ryan Bundy.
Let me clarify. She's not a YouTuber or a professional. And oh, what a breath of fresh air. She's just told you that the lawyer went to see the Bundy guy, or I'm sorry, Ammon Bundy, in prison, and that he was told that Ammon didn't want to see him or wouldn't see him that day. Now she's going. Now uh, the I just wanted to bring you up to speed on that. I keep wanting to jump ahead and ruin it. Here we are. Step one: lawyer can't see Bundy and told can't see Bundy. Turns out Bundy is in solitary. Here we go.
This video might be a little uncomfortable for the audience. It's certainly uncomfortable for me to have to give it, but I am going to.
That's another thing. There's nothing in here that even remotely is shocking or whatever coming up. But this is again, it shows you that this person has no experience with this big fat lying fraud show called the YouTube. So to her, this could be lowbrow. Here we go.
am so outraged about the abuse that is going on in these jails. And like I said before, it's not just because of my husband, but I didn't know. I didn't know this was going on. We hear about it. And in my mind, I thought, well, they probably deserved it. But you know what? I have a different outlook now. Do we really deserve abuse?
Did you hear what she said? Did you hear what she said? That was almost monumental. If she wasn't a nobody, that whenever she heard about inmates being abused in a prison before, that she said that they probably deserved it, and that she has a whole new outlook now that her husband is in that very situation. Now, here's where it gets. Here's where anyway. Here's where it gets good, or whatever. But I can't remember what that guy says. The guy on things they don't want you to know. I'm gonna back it up. No, I'm not going to back it up. She just says that her perspective didn't change about people in prison and what's happening to them until her husband went to prison. What does that tell you? That tells you that if you are hoping for the perspective to change because, let's say, you made a video or told your story about it or blah, 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 that it simply is a waste of time. That only someone that either personally or knows someone who has gone to prison and been abused and was innocent on all charges in the begin with could possibly change their perspective on that. So we can already understand one situation right there, that people's ways and beliefs on that particular subject and blah, 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 is always in one direction unless they know someone or have done it themselves. That'll always make a believer out of you. So those odds are not really good on getting the word out on anything, people, because you know, you know, when you're in prison and every minute of every second of every day, you have a hard time thinking outside of that box. People, you got to remember these Mr. Bundy and friends have been in jail for over a year. And I can't remember Mr. Bundy crossing the line. Unless you guys remember something about it that I don't. Let's get back to Lisa. I wanted to drive this one home for sure. That yeah, people are never going to change their mind about people in prison and how they're treated and all that until it's them. Here we go.
Abuse? At what point do we say abuse is okay? I'm not okay with it. So I'm going to try to make this quick.
Abuse is all right by me as long as it ain't me. It's as simple as that. You know, instead of Jesus is all right, my friend, Jesus is just all right. Oh, yeah. No, it's the abuse can go on all night. Oh, yeah. As long as it ain't me. Pretty messed up, huh? Pretty messed up, but that's the truth. And just the way it is. Yeah, abuse is just all right by me. Unless it's me, of course. Here we go. Thank you, Lisa. God, man, she to be a worse than amateur at this YouTube thing. She is batting 1,000. Here we go.
He is in solitary because Ammon, refused to allow them to strip search him. Now, when I say strip search him, I mean they are required to take all of their clothes off, everything. So they are naked. And at some point, they have been touched in areas that they are not comfortable with. My husband, Ryan Bundy, and I'm not sure about Ryan Payne, but I know he's a good guy, has never done drugs. Ever. And he has never, he had one sip of alcohol. That's all my husband has ever had. So I have to make people public aware. I'm just going to state the obvious. I'm not okay with that. I don't know if you would be okay with that.
Well, of course, everyone's okay with it. As long as it's not them. Seems to be, there seems to be a little trouble in cell box 6. Yes, that contraband may be on the float, and it could be up the boot. They want to check, probably just to be annoying. Mr. Bundy and friends have opted out at the airport. Interesting. I didn't know you could opt out. Yes, that the probing fingers and whatnot. Blah, blah, blah. That we're not gonna participate this time around. How about that? And that the of course the payment in riches and gold beyond your wildest dreams in the form of solitary confinement or a 4x8 dimly lit. Probably one of the most horrible things you could do to any living thing is put it in a box by itself and leave it. Yes, beyond inhumane, and I wouldn't want that for a mass murderer. Nope, he'd go straight to the chair instead of being tortured in a box. Because we're not taking two flanges up the bump. Now, interesting enough, how would this contraband be entering Cell Block 6 in the first place? Unless it was supplied by the very fingers that want to probe. Let's get back to the story.
Even if you don't know anyone that's been incarcerated, justly or unjustly, it should never be okay. We should never be okay with that. I'm not okay with it. So he's like, okay, well, the guard says you're declining a strip search, so I'm gonna have to punish you. So you're going to solitary. And Ammon said, finally, he said, you know what? I don't care. Do whatever you need to do with me, but you are not touching my body anymore. And that's just disgusting. And I really think, and he does too, that there are men, these guards are enjoying it.
Absolutely. I mean, let's not kid ourselves for a minute here, people. The people that want that job have to be, let's just say, in a certain way, to even want to be your brother's keeper in the first place. It would be along the mindset of a predator, wouldn't it? Poor little Lisa. I think she's hearing things that she never wanted to hear from inside. Let's get back.
I think that as a society, I think that we are numb. We have forgotten how important human life is.
She says people have forgotten how important human life is. Boy, doesn't she live in a dream world. No, people never considered it important in the first place. So you're taking one hell of a grand jump there, Miss Lisa. No, you would have had to once cherished it in the past to say that we're progressively headed in a particular direction. And I see no evidence of that whatsoever. No evidence of anyone having consideration for human life. Have you? Anybody out there got an example of that? No phony videos now. I mean, Don't go outside and film yourself giving $2 to the street bum and then telling me, "Oh, see, there's a sign of humanity." No, there isn't. No, there isn't because you sent it to me to make yourself look good. So, nah. Which is, we're going to get to the real point of this here in a minute. That she is gradually learning and understanding something real. Here we go.
I the only thing I think that we can do right now is pray for our enemies. That's the only thing I think we can do. I
Okay.
am not okay.
Hang on. Pray for your enemies. This is somebody that is just totally broken and out of, you know. Just say you don't know what to do. Don't ever go that praying for your what the here again, newbies. Here we go.
With somebody touching me unless I'm okay with it. And then if I'm not okay with it and it still happens, what is that considered?
If they touch you and you didn't want them to and they did it anyway, that's considered jail. The rim shot. Here we go.
Not gonna tell you what I think it's considered, because everything we say and put out into the public eye is being used against us in the court. But I also know that I can't sit here and be quiet any longer. This is not just our guys. This is going on everywhere. And Ammon right now and the rest of the guys are in a jail that is privately owned by the CCA. And I want you guys to know what's going on.
Okay. The Bundys are in a big business. They're down there working at the big business, a privately owned jail, probably state of the art. Probably got two people running it with a freaking computer. Well, two people and those 6 or 12 or so bubbas, or what do they call them down there? You convicts probably could tell them. They call them bosses, right? A boss. Can I use the bathroom, boss? Is that right? But these prison bosses are never portrayed on television like what they really are. If you ever want to see one of these prison type bosses, you want to get the taste of it, go get on an airplane. Go catch a flight somewhere. And if I was you these days, I'd have probably a couple of drinks first and smoke the cigarette first, because you're fixing to do it. Here we go. Wait a minute. Didn't we say forced on you would be called jail? Wait a minute. Here we go. There's a way bigger point. I know you're going, "Oh, Logan, it couldn't possibly get any bigger." that's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. Just hang on. Wait for the climax. Here we go.
So he finally calls me last night, and he just said, "You know what? I don't know why this is happening, but it must be something good. God must be working something great." Because
what? This was worse than I couldn't. I didn't think she could top pray for her enemies, but she does it with this must be something good. Back to this. Jeez.
Is why would so many people be so awful? So we're here on this.
The question of the millennium. Why would so many people be so evil? The way she said it was way more poetic. Why would so many people be so evil? We're getting to that. Here we go.
Earth to choose. We have choices. We get to make choices every single day. That's the God-given right that we've been given.
She's absolutely right. Everyone has a choice to make all day, every day. Many of them. A choice. That means you could do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, or you could take the box. But everyone chooses their choices. Here we go.
And in heaven, whether you believe or whatever you believe, we fought for agency. And that agency put us here on earth. That means that everybody that's on this earth was good and chose good. So
where did she get this stuff? Is she watching Time Traveler Channel again or something? One of those those other big hoaxy fraud liars that every upload is just trash. Where does she get this stuff? That all people were put here were good. That's where she's entirely wrong. Newbie. It's quite the opposite. You're all here in the prison planet for a reason. I think each one of you has an idea of what that reason is, of why you are locked here with me. Back to the bull.
We have to dig deep, and I'm asking you to dig deep. And the first thing I'm going to say is pray. It might be the only way to help the situation.
Just always say praying for last, because if praying worked, you people would do it first. Hell, we'd screw everything. I'd just pray that I had money to live off of where I didn't have to go to work. Yeah, praying worked. If praying worked, I wonder if the prayer has ever been said, lady, that I wish for world peace, God. Now, seems to me that it's beyond obvious that either your God has left the building or is so omnipotent that everywhere is nowhere. Oh, man. Now, since she's experienced a touch of reality, now she's going to put her hands in the hands of God or whatever. This is someone who obviously has reached their end point or whatever. Now, people do this with they go to the God without these kind of situations or whatever, but it seems to come back to this is our only hope, meaning that there is no hope. People, I've been on this internet a long time. You seen any miracles? Have you? Email it to me. Back to the show.
Prove to God what we are willing to do for our fellow brethren, for this country, for good. What are you willing to do for good?
Not, yeah, what are they willing to do for good? Well, from my experience, if it has anything to do with good or right, they're just not interested. Just not interested. They'll stick to the other side because it's more profitable in one way or another. See, one, zero profit, zero credit, and no fun at all. The other, uh, profits, just all kinds of fun on the internet for sure. With the oohs and the ahs. No, I don't think you'll ever talk them out of what they do, lady. But let's let her inspire us for a minute. Here we go.
You don't have to take a hard stand.
They won't. They won't.
But you can take a stand against evil. And this might not never.
She says. She says take a stand against evil. Okay, here we go. I wanted to finish with asking you guys earlier, why did the standoff lose? The pipeline, the Bundy, and the bird sanctuary. Why did they all lose? Because even though there was a turnout of a few people, that was not near what it would have taken to obtain whatever needed to be done there. And that's the bottom line. As hard as these people tried, and man, so many people on the internet did all they could do. They did all they could do by uploading it. What else do you want people to do? No, people didn't turn out for it. They didn't show up in the million or whatever, and just make it beyond bigger than TV, because that's hard to do. If the TV doesn't want to cover you, and nobody wants to show up, you're destined to fail. Especially if you talk about being tough with saying that you will resort to your gun behind the door. I mean, all of these things add up to failure. As hard as so many people tried, there was. Peter Santilli is a perfect reason of someone who tried for all the wrong reasons. Peter Santilli went there for Peter Santilli. He didn't go there for the cause or any of that. Everybody knows it. It's completely obvious. This guy followed in the footsteps of Alex Jones in the early days by taking over causes. And he went down to self-promote himself and stuck a big old press sticker on himself, and he thought that was a badge. No, what Santilli's was in Santilli's heart was not gold. It was self-promotion. So when we're talking about these poor people, this Bundy guy or whatever, I want to get that straight with you. The Bundy, I don't think, went over there for self-promotion. He went because he felt as if he had a victory where he was at, that this was a rolling rock and getting bigger, that everybody knew what happened to the cattle, what the BLM did, and that he had the backing of the people or whatever. And he thought when he got to Oregon that there'd be this massive show up or whatever, and it didn't happen. And then it all fell apart when they shot the one head of Finnecum. And then and then gave you the footage of it directly, filmed it, and gave it to you right here on the internet as a message to all of you. You failed. And believe me, my heart goes out. There's a tiniest piece good in me somewhere. I looked for it the other day. I couldn't find it. But I know it's in there somewhere because I never lose anything. But I the tiniest little bit or whatever for these people for what they look. Everybody else watched it as if it was a reality TV show, and may not remember of the original reasons of the original stand. It's all lost in the mud and behind bars. Now, any of these things in the future, no matter what they try to pull, and you guys try to stop, it's gonna fail. No, not unless you could get millions and millions of people to just swamp the land where they're just completely outnumbered. With a million cameras going at one time and everybody involved. How are you going to do that? I don't see it possible because none of these people can think together long enough, in case you haven't noticed. Everybody's got their own idea of how they can make it theirs. There is no big giant common cause. There's my cause. Because I'm bringing it to you. Remember me? Fuck the story. Remember the journalism. Well, when that's the way it is, it's a failure, isn't it? Now, damn man, I'm just long-winded, ain't he? I've been watching too much. People, if you want to know where I get my philosophy, Gilligan's Island. That's right, Gilligan's Island. Whenever I can't figure out something, I just go, Ginger Mary, Ginger Mary, Ginger Mary. I figured out. I figured out one way or another. Let's get back to the show.
My life did I think I would be in this situation. So don't you ever think for 1 minute that it won't happen to you or someone that you love. Because the way the world is going, it's just going to keep getting worse and worse.
Well, she's come back to reality. She almost lost her head there for a minute, but all of a sudden, poof, a recovery. It's gonna get worse. And Logan running LLC Industries International nonprofit will back you up on that 100 gazillion percent. Yes, it's a percent. Look it up somewhere towards the back. Here we go.
And I just want to walk in righteousness. I just want to walk with God at the helm, and I want to do good. And I'm asking you to do the same.
She's asking them to do good. People out there, I thought it would never come. Miss Lisa Bundy asked, this is a request that all of you would try to do good for her and the kids. All right? All right? Is that so much to ask? I mean, she's like going through this by herself. Tell me you people can't be good? Not even for a minute? All right. Suit yourself. I had to ask. Here we go.
This is an uncomfortable situation. I've never been someone that wanted to get in front of the camera ever. In fact, I was happy just being in the background, taking care of my kids. But guess what? I love my kids and my future generations so much that I am willing to get the truth out, even if it makes me uncomfortable, because it does.
People have tried, Miss Lisa. Oh, how they've tried. I saw a feller just the other day waltz onto the YouTube with a college education. Yeah, everybody's like, no, yeah, with a college education and real facts and real figures and a real telescope. Doesn't matter. I think he's been taken care of properly. Let's get back to the show.
I don't want to tell you about my personal life. It's my personal life. But this is happening to a lot of people, and we can't allow it to keep happening. I'm I'm even pleading to the guards, the judges, the prosecutors, the public defenders, and anyone out there that can make a difference. Politicians, whoever it is, I'm a nobody, but I'm going to try to make a difference. And part of that is telling you a little bit about my personal life, my private life. I'm not okay with this. Mel, this is the exact same reason Mel was in solitary a few weeks ago, for the same thing. Are you okay with your rights being violated? Because eventually it's going to be worse. And I'm not okay with my children's rights being violated either. So get on your knees, please, please, and pray for our enemies. It might be the only thing we can do. In fact, I think it is the only thing we can do.
And how would that help? We could you could pray for a bright flash of light. That might be helpful. You could pray for an incredible miracle that, like Oral Roberts, if they don't get paid, they'll all be called home. Remember when Oral Roberts paid himself because nobody else would put up the money? Everybody's like, yeah, you can just go on home, Oral. So, of course, this this religious big time fraud. He's like, oh shit, I'm actually gonna live a little longer, so I'm gonna have to make up a story here. Oh, there was a big donation came in at the last second, luckily, and I get to keep on living and frauding in the name of God. Is this the same people you're talking about, Lisa? Yeah, this little racketeering going on with the Don God and his little rat face henchman running around. Like Benny Hinn and for the lessers, Paul Bagley, to bring it on home for everybody. Bring it on home, or anybody else that uses their religion as a crutch in one way or another, instead of showing up to the standoff. Because, she talks about taking rights and all that. Oh, how they're non-existent now after 3 strikes and you're out. Here's the pitch, and it's a bunny, and it's strike. Here's the pitch, and it's a bird sanctuary, and it's a strike 2. He's winding up for the pipeline and releasing it. It's coming down. Strike 3. You're out. Get him out of here. You'll never play in this town again, Casey. Yes, because if you're counting on people, Lisa, to do the right thing, or to support the preservation of their own rights, they just don't have time for that. They're busy cutting up somebody's video right now, and all the truth is hitting the floor. Because they're good people. Here in a minute, I'm sure they're all going to pray for their enemies. All of YouTube will pray for their enemies. Yes, all of YouTube will pray for Logan running. God damn. Well, I'm expecting a miracle, people. Surprise me. I would like some wings, though. Give Logan wings. That'd be so awesome. White, fluffy ones, but not too fluffy. I don't want to look like, what do you call it? One of those runway models. What you call it? The secret thing. Yeah, whatever. Lisa is she's going to plead with you a little bit more, and I can't stop her. I mean, there's a lot of people that have tried to change this bunch. No, Lisa, they're just a bunch of viewers. And then, then there's there's always no, here we go. Back to the show.
Try not to be numb to the situation. I worked in an emergency room at the front desk about 10 years ago, about 12 years ago, and I saw doctors and nurses be numb to situations, to real life and death situations, and it made me sad. Don't be numb. The video games, the instant gratification, it's creating a numbness in us. And
okay, her analysis of the problem of why nobody showed up is that everybody's numb, and she's just scratching the surface when she says that you have a cell phone or a computer. They do all kinds of other stuff too, lady. Yes, they're quite busy, and will never have a second to support this long dead cause. But suit yourself. Here we go.
It's not good. It's not good. I don't want to smile and make it seem like it's okay.
Why not?
But I'm just trying to be strong. Trying to be strong for my kids and my husband. And if we are not our family's advocate, no one will be. No one will be. Even if you don't care about me and you don't care about my husband or anybody else that I'm affiliated with, there are people that you care about in this world.
They care about themselves. It's pretty obvious. Well, I mean, look, I keep saying this as a whole or whatever. It's because my glass is half empty. Actually, it's all empty. There are a lot of good people. There are a lot of good people that did their best. And they'll never be forgotten for doing their best. And that's very unfortunate. I don't want to have fun with this situation because it's a funny situation. There's nothing funny about any of this. There's nothing funny about the reality that people are not going to change unless it happens to them. And, maybe it will, maybe it won't. Who wants to wait? She wants to finish. I want to let her finish. She got I don't know, quite a bit to go here. I better let her talk.
And you need to be their advocates. You have to. There is no more. We live in a world where you cannot be silenced any longer. You cannot, you have to choose a side. Which side are you on? And everybody's role is different. I've said this from the beginning.
Which side are you on? And it's not my side, his side, but that side, this side, that side. Our friends, your friends, his friends, my friends, no friends. It's nothing to do with that. It's good against evil. You remember that old thing? That old what do you call it? Choice. That, or is that one of the choices that people just skip every day and just choose not to answer? Here we go.
I don't, this would never be a role that I would ever imagine I would be in, talking to the public. But I am happy to do it if that's what's required. So speak out for someone that you love, and even someone you don't know. Do the right thing. I don't know if phone calls are the answer. I don't know if letters are the answer. We have pled to Trump and to Sessions and to our Idaho and Utah and Nevada and every politician out there. We've been pleading for over a year and we've heard nothing, which was the exact reason why my husband took a stand in Oregon, because they just ignore us. Do you, as the public, care about being ignored? Because you're going to be ignored. If something happens in your life that matters and they're not okay with it, you will be ignored, or they will come against you.
Okay. You will be ignored and they will come against you. Guarantee it. That's what to prepare for. Not that you can change it. That is the way it is, and that is to skills to be sharpened. And all this other business about praying and hoping and blah blah blah, it's a lip service from Don God and that racketeering ring. Here we go.
We have two choices. We can choose fear or we can choose faith. And I'm choosing faith, and I'm asking you to join me. And if you don't know what to do, that's okay. That voice in your head that tells you to do good, that's Heavenly Father telling you what to do. That's Him guiding you and directing you. So let's do good. I love this country. I love America. I do. I'm so grateful to be born in this dispensation. I am grateful for God and for my elder brother, Jesus Christ. I'm grateful for the many that have shown.
Always got to throw that God thing in there, like we're just so grateful to God now that Ammon is in solitary down there, and you haven't lifted a finger. Almighty God, that is supposed to have chosen a side of good or evil. God, not going to make a choice. Not going to get involved. You must be a YouTuber.
Outpouring of love to our family, because it is because of prayer and scriptures and good friends and family that have stood by our family during the situation. I care about my enemies. I do. I shouldn't, but I do. They're human beings too, and they have family.
No, they're not. No, they are not. I would call them animals, but they are lower than animals. Troglodytes. Go ahead, Lisa.
So I'm going to pray for them and hope that they make the right thing. It seems like every time we do something good, we fast, we pray as a group, as a nation, or we ask, Satan retaliates every time. So that means I believe that we are doing good. We are coming together as a nation, as friends and families, and even strangers, and we are doing right, because that's what Satan does. He is furious when we make the right choices.
Lady, you think that your husband being punished is a sign that God loves him? Can I remind you of the story of Jude? Yeah, I think if you ask Jude, hey, Jude, what do you think of God and the way he loves you? Yes, God, the Don Don God, and of course the out in the open Don Don Satan, kind of had a little dollar bet to see if messing with Jude would jack him up. No, it seems that the history shows a spiteful and sometimes evil God, isn't he? Always collecting money and letting the preachers keep it. Because getting the word out on Jude that never comes up in any of these sermons, except the part where Jude holds out through all of the horrible, what do you call it, afflictions that God what do you call it? Gives to Jude. Just jacking with him, because Jude didn't have enough troubles already. And Miss Thumpers out there that are really looking down you probably your bifocals are slid down your nose by now. What did Jude do to God to make him subject to their hell game on Jude? Well, I believe Jude was loyal to the Don Don. Yeah, yeah, that's what you get, I guess, for following that. When Vinny got caught up with the wrong guys over there. I told Vinny, I said, Vinny, those are the wrong guys over there. You should stay over here. No, but Vinny went over there and then he got shot, man. He got capped, bro. I remember Vinny's mom crying. It was horrible. Glory to God. Where she's grasping for straws. Here we go. Lisa Bundy. Dire straits. No help. No way out for Ammon Bundy's personal hell.
Have a good day. Have a good weekend. It's Friday. We should be out having a good time with our families.
Have a good time.
And as you are with your families, I ask that you think about ours and that we're not together. Whether you supported us or not, we're not together. And my husband has not been convicted of anything. So,
Ammon Bundy has not been convicted of any crime.
share this far and wide if you feel like you need to or should. I would ask
I
that
am.
you do. When we all come together, we're powerful. When we unite as a nation, we're powerful, and I believe that, especially when we unite in good. And
I don't know what she's basing that off of. When has the nation ever come together on anything? They've been forced to come together on fake wars, murder for hire deals, and participate in it. Is that what you're talking about? I don't know if this group participation you're talking about, unless you're talking about all the protesting with the Fruit Loops, wanting men to have full access to your bathroom, and people like Trump stand in the way of that. Oh, and I think a handful, a few other people stand in the way of that. Maybe we should just let them do it. Let the fruits do anything they want to do in front of your family. You can't stop it. You can't say nothing about it. I'll make it the law. All in the name of God and equality. Of course. Sorry, Lisa. God, I wasn't even invited to this thing. How did I get on stage again? Get him out of here.
with God at the forefront. So have a great day. Make the choice of faith, not fear. Satan rules by fear. And
hang on. Here's the big one. Satan rules by default. Yes, Satan rules by default. When there's no actions in one direction, a default. I love saying it.
pray hard for this nation, because it is you and I that will make a difference. It's not going to be some politician. It's going to be you and I, someone that hardly anybody knows about, that God knows. Okay, think about our guys. Say a prayer for them. They're in some.
Say a prayer. Yes, God knows. God knows and does nothing. Let's never. Oh, not supposed to talk about that part. That's right. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, thanks for coming by, Lisa, and wish the best for you. And myself, I made my choice a long time ago, and it was easy. I'll never tell you which one it was. So, like Lisa says, when you're not doing anything else, all your bogus stories are gone. The police have decided, well, look for him next month. When you've got all this time on your hands, think about what Lisa said. Should I try this good thing? Maybe. See what it's like, at least. Because change could be good. Although we learned last time that change means a bad thing. Okay? So, they took that word away from us too. So, sorry to ruin your Friday night. Not really. Hope in humanity, if that's what you're going for, is slipping away faster than Nibiru. So So, you know, you may want to, look in other horizons. That's all I'm saying. And, I don't know. I, I can only lead by example and do the best that I can in these situations, which is to, what, like she said, re-upload it, get the word out. I'm helpless in all kinds of what's the truth situations. Every time I'm helpless. That's the once the truth is released, that it's kind of on its own. It's like that. It's that son that you're not too sure whether he'll be successful or not. When he goes out the door, maybe he'll become a star, and the truth will stick. And then, but then maybe he'll just become a freaking grease monkey mechanic somewhere. And what he says won't matter for shit. So, you guys have a nice evening, and remember that you want to tell something to Logan, and you want to get it straight, email him at loganrunningagain.blom. I mean, gmail.blom. That's Logan running again, all one word with no G in running, because that would be silly, and I would be in a whole new genre on the with the name of on the internet, because apparently the name and the running and yeah connects to other stuff. Imagine that. Have a good night, guys, and don't ever try to overthink these things. You let Logan do it. Good night.